Hey everyone,
Hi.
hey everyone, I have a special guest for you today. I have Sang Bungzi with me today. She has the unique distinction of just crossing the 100 transaction level as a solo agent. She hangs her license with a brokerage that I know and respect at Iron Key Real Estate in Fresno. Let's welcome Sang to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show, Michael.
Excellent. Well, why don't we just knock out what a solo agent is? I don't know that everybody knows what that kind of moniker is. Why don't you just describe what that is for us?
Well, a solo agent is someone that's not part of a team. I mean, just like you said, I do hang my real estate license with IronQ Real Estate. So, besides them supporting me, I'm just by myself. I don't have a team. Right now, I don't have a transaction coordinator. I should get one, I know. But pretty much everything is by me. But then I do have the support. If I have questions, I can
Uh-huh.
lean on my sales manager and I can lean on other agents. And then, of course, my broker as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Being a part of INQ Real Estate really means you're in the family and all that stuff. I've interviewed and been lucky enough to speak with and interview half a dozen or 10 folks from Iron Key. So it's a great organization.
Mhm.
But I got to respect and appreciate being a solo agent. You're out there sort of eating what you kill, if you will, right? Because it's all your efforts. There's not this spider web of resources out there. So much appreciated. And the reason I
Yes.
reached out to you was because I saw a post where you just crossed the 100 transaction level. And for me, that's wildly impressive, especially as a solo agent. So talk about how long
Thank
and, and,
you.
and, and all of that, because that's a huge accomplishment.
Well, I started my career, I was licensed on December 2014.
Hmm.
And ironically, Michael, today is my 5th year anniversary. I started in real estate. The first day I went into work was January 16th.
Wow.
So it's 5 years. And then my goal, I wanted to be realistic. Pretty
Mhm.
much when I first started real estate, my parents, they were trying to talk me out of it.
Sure.
They were telling me, you know what, you're crazy. It's a commission only job. You should stick to 8 to 5. I came out of human resources.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's an inside joke here at the office at Iron Key. They call me the compliance manager,
You're
whichever.
you're HR.
It
Yeah.
is. Yes, I'm HR. That's why, and it's so funny. So my dad and my mom was telling me you should just stick to HR. You have an 8 to 5 job. It's guaranteed. But with the number of kids I have, it's hard to do the 8 to 5.
Yeah.
And at that time, I had a baby. She was practically under a year old,
Yeah.
and I told myself I need to do something where it's going to give me the flexibility. At that time, of course, I didn't know how hard it was.
Sure.
So I just thought real estate, I just go on my own hours. But the first year, I really had to really discipline myself. I had to figure out time management. I had to motivate myself. It was tough. So I told my parents, give me 5 years to figure this out.
Yeah.
Not just 1 year, because a lot of people, they go into 1 year and they expect to sell, X amount of homes. And when that does not happen, they give up.
Right.
So I told my parents, give me 5 years. So let me see how I do the first year, second year, third year, fourth year. And I
Wow.
told them within that 5 years, if I am not selling 100 homes or over, which by the way, I've reached over 100 now.
Nice.
So I told them if I don't sell 100 homes or over, then I will quit. I will quit real estate and I would just go back into HR. So I made that, I pretty much did what I was going to tell them I was going to accomplish. And so I'm
Wow.
very excited and happy. It's been rough,
Yeah.
because within the 5 years, life happens. Hit a lot of, speed bumps, obstacles, but, I
Sure.
prevailed. So,
Yeah, well, again, so first off, I didn't know all of that story. So congratulations, celebrate your 5 year
yeah.
anniversary. That's interesting, right? You had mom and dad kind of whispering in your ear, say, be safe,
Hmm.
secure. You're like, no, I have, kids. All right, we haven't said the number yet, but we can
Hmm.
do that in a minute. And you're like, I need more flexibility, right? So you traded
Yes.
flexibility and
Hmm.
upside for really the unknown, but you did it for your family, is what I'm hearing you say. Is that fair? Yeah. Okay. So how many? So let's just get it out of
Yes.
the way. How many kids?
Yes. I have 4 children, and they range from Well, my littlest one, she will be turning 2 in April.
Okay.
I have a 6-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 15-year-old that's getting ready to, drive this year.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
teaching the daughter how to drive. That was interesting. All right. So again, you have an 8 to 5 job. You have some kids. You have to make that switch, that transition. And the other thing you did was you're unique is you set up a 5-year vision. I've not heard
Yes.
anybody have the foresight like that. Are your parents entrepreneurs, or where did you pick that up? Because that's pretty unique.
So I've been in sales before, and I always hear people say, if you start your business and if you're not in business within, 3 years or 5 years from now, then it's not going to last.
Okay.
So that's how I got that. I mean, before that, I did marketing also. And then I've contacted business owners, and I see within the first year, they're out of business.
Yeah.
It's just, one of those things where we're in business for the first year, everything looks good, everything's great. And then the next year, they're no longer. I used to work for the Valley Yellow Pages, so the phone directory.
Yeah.
So that's how I know who's in business and who's no longer in business.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's give everybody kind of a color to year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, kind of the ramp, right? So you got to over 100 today. Did you just start off doing 20 a year, or how did it ramp? Do you remember?
No. So the first year, I did 11 transactions.
Okay.
Which that goal, my first year was to do 12.
Okay.
And then the 12th escrow fell out right before the last week of the year. So I was bummed out.
Yeah.
And then the second year, I told myself, okay, if I can do 11, so let's double it. And crazy enough, it was 22 deals.
Okay.
And then the third year, that's when I had my struggles because my husband lost his job that year. I was pregnant. I was high risk. And, everything was just going against me. So, but then that was the year that I sold the most transactions, and I sold 32 homes in 2017.
Wow. Okay.
So 2018, I gave birth, and I pretty much just slowed me down. I mean, I worked until the day I gave birth. It's funny because the day that I gave birth, I was actually supposed to show homes and write up offers to my clients. And it was emergency C-section. So my doctor says, you know what? You need to stay put.
Yeah.
Because you need to cut this baby out of your tummy because, it's no longer safe for the baby to be there.
Yeah.
So the stress was there.
Oh,
and then after I had the baby, I was just making phone calls. So I just literally took like a few days off, the C-section and all, and dying. And, I had to do what I had to do because my husband was not working at that time.
Yeah.
And then 2018, that's when I, was kind of just trekking along. I sold maybe about 15 deals that year.
Yeah.
And then 2019, that's when I felt like I was a little bit more of, back to normal.
Right.
But then, of course, I still have my everyday thing that I do with, 4 children, dropping them off to school, picking them up, taking them to sports, coming to the office, because I do operate as, a full-time agent.
Yeah.
So this isn't something where I do if I feel like coming in or whichever. I'm in here all the time. If it's not all day, then it's half day, because sometimes I do go out and, show homes half of the day, and then I'm in the office. So 2019, I closed 24 transactions. And then, that's how I was able to peak over to my 100th. But then ever since that, I closed 2 more. So 102.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
But after that, I'm not counting anymore. That's it. That was my goal, and that was a huge deal.
Now you go back to mom and dad, say, check, I made it. So that's awesome.
Yes, and I did.
Yeah, good for you. So it's interesting because this, but the viewers may not. Doing 11 transactions your first year is uncommon, right? I mean, that's not normal. I would say most agents probably do less than 5 and probably do less than 3. So how did you dive in and build a pipeline and contacts? And I mean, how'd you get 11 that first year? Because I think other aspiring real estate agents might like to hear that story.
So the majority of them, they are all referrals or, circle of influence or center of influence, whichever you want to say, sphere of influence.
Yep.
Before I got into real estate, I reached out to everyone I know and told them, hey, I'm considering a career in real estate. If you're thinking of selling a home, purchasing, if anyone that wants to buy within the next year, please consider me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fortunate. So once I got licensed, I had 2 in the pipeline that were ready to go, already pre-approved.
Nice.
And then after that, I just got referrals, and I just worked the referrals the first year.
So networking referrals, being close to your clients.
Past network as well.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends that I used to network with a few years ago, he started his own business. So actually, he didn't start his own business as a lender yet, but he was a lender at another company.
Uh-huh.
So we've reconnected. So a lot of it came from that. So past referrals or past networking.
Very, very cool. So if we fast forward to your record year, which was trying personally and emotionally, but you did 32 transactions. Anything stand out as unique? Did you get a repeat buyer, or was it just hustling one at a time? Does anything jump out at you as unique about that year?
I work with investors.
I see.
So I had a couple of transactions that came, one investor, I think, came out to 3 deals.
Yeah.
And I worked with another investor, and that was like another, 2 deals or
Yeah. Yeah.
So I if you're just going to ask me, I'd say, work with investors.
Yep. No, that's, I didn't know that's where it was going to go, but that's what I've been telling real estate agents for years, as you know, right? Is if you can find 2 or 3 real estate investors, they're going to be good for 2 or 3 transactions a year. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
and I'm still in contact with them, and we're still looking at properties for this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's cool. So I guess we'll go to, do you have, I'm sure you do, but let's ask it this way. Do you have a goal for 2020? We just started.
I do. It's not a big of a goal this year. My goal is just to help 30 people purchase or sell their home. Okay. This year, I'm pretty busy with ARIA, which is an organization that I'm involved in, which is Asian Real Estate Association of America, for the Central Valley chapter. I'm the president-elect for next year.
Nice.
So I do a lot with ARIA, and then I belong on another nonprofit organization, which is FIRM. It's a mouthful, so it's Fresno Interdenominational Refugee Ministries. So I serve on the board there.
Wow.
And then, my oldest son, he does a lot of volleyball, so a lot of traveling. So those are my goals this year, is just to help out 30 families. Okay. And then if I can do more, that'll be great. But I just don't want to, spread myself thin.
Yeah. So why don't we talk about, I guess I knew that, but I didn't make the connection. Let's talk about you being the president-elect, and forgive me, I don't remember the acronym, but let's talk about that a little bit. What is it? Why'd you sign up for doing something like that? It's a commitment, I'm sure.
It's definitely a commitment. Well, when I first started in real estate, I didn't know. I was looking for an organization where I could belong. Mm-hmm. And then I was approached by that past president, the current president. Hey, why not join ARIA? You're Asian, you're in real estate, you're producing. Mm-hmm. So then that's how it just came about. I just joined, and then as soon as I joined, it's like, this is a group where I feel like I belong. And also they do a lot of stuff. Yeah. We do a lot of volunteer events. We have educational classes. And then the thing is, what connected me back to FIRM is through ARIA. So last year I did the community outreach, and I was able to reach out to FIRM and ask or volunteer our services, like, hey, you know what, this is what we do, and we would love to help you guys. And it just so happens that they need a board member, and
nice.
A little bit of arm twisting, and then so I'm there too now.
Oh, well, good for you.
With ARIA, it's nonprofit, and we are looking for sponsors.
Gotcha. I like it. All right, very, very cool. So I'm guessing is it president-elect for a year, or do you sign up for 4 years, or how long is the assignment?
No, just a year.
Okay.
I can't do anything for more than a year, Michael.
Yeah, no.
My schedule, it's even though it's written down, sometimes you get these curveballs and monkey wrench or whatever thrown at you because, like I said, I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes things happen. So I could only commit 1 year, actually 2 years total. So vice president this year and then next year president.
Wow. Well, good for you. That's very admirable. 4 kids, running a real estate business, solo agent. Wow. You are one busy lady. So I did see on, I think it was Facebook, you and your husband just bought a plot of dirt. Why don't you talk about that?
Well,
No?
so that land
Yeah.
we bought since 2016.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we're supposed to build in 2017, but my husband lost his job.
Got it.
And
Okay.
he did not feel comfortable building at that time.
Reasonable.
But I went ahead and bought a new home in 2018 anyways, because just being the stubborn person that I am, I'm independent. And, so anyways, that Saturday, I drove by that land. We happened to go into a birthday party, and we just drove by, and my parents said, hey, we want photos because we've never seen your land, and, we want to, just take pictures.
Oh, okay.
But if you sell it, I go, okay, I don't know if I'm going to sell it. I've had offers.
Yeah.
So that's what that was. That's what I put on there. Maybe one day we'll build our dream home, or maybe one day we'll build homes, or maybe one day we'll just sell it. So, yeah. And then that goes to the possibilities of, just owning real estate. Like it's endless. It's like now I have that piece of land. People are asking to buy it from me. And, that's what I always tell my clients too. It's like the things of owning real estate it's amazing.
Yeah. So let's
I'm
talk
just proud that I have that land, even though it's just sitting there. Now I just have my sign up there.
It's marketing. That's awesome. So why don't we talk about the land? So it was unclear to me how big the plot of land is. Given you bought it in 16, what'd you get it for? Roughly, if you don't want to say the exact number, what? And the plan was to build a new home, at least initially.
Well, it's on tax records, but it's 2.25 or 2.25 acres.
Okay.
And it was listed for 100,000, and then we bought it for 60,000.
Oh, look at you.
So my husband and I strategically bought that land.
Okay. Yeah, and again, when you have something that big, I mean, eventually, you're right. It could become homes, right? 2.25 acres. It could become.
Yes.
God, I could become 10 homes at least, yes. Right?
Just there's a lot of homes, being built right there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good for you. You don't have to answer this question, but I'm going to ask anyway. What's the highest offer you've gotten so far?
Okay. Oh, yeah. I can't answer that.
That's fine.
Because that might still be in negotiation, so I can't answer that.
Let's just
I've gotten letters. I've gotten phone calls.
It's more than 60, though.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It is. It's more than 60, and it's more than 100. I can tell you that.
There you go. Well, good for you. That again, right? It's buy real estate in weight, land included, right? If you can buy land at a discount, and you're in a position to hold it, that's a good thing. I've owned land in Fresno before. Never anything that big. I'm curious. Do you have to go mow it or pay a tractor to come by once a year to mow the weeds? My
husband does that.
Okay.
So, I think it's by May or by the end of May, but for Madera County, he goes and does it himself.
Yeah, because you have to do it, right? Or else the city comes by and gives you a little warning. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Cool. Well, so he doesn't have a choice, but he doesn't want to pay for it, so he does it himself.
There you go. Well, that's okay. You got to respect that. Doing that for 2.25 acres, that's a workout, I'm sure. So let's talk about you as an agent. How do you help clients, and what is your special sauce? Because you clearly figured it out. People love working with you. How do you help clients?
So, well, with me, when I meet with clients, it's all about educating them. So it's more of an educational part. So a lot of my clients, they're first-time home buyers, and they come into the perspective, okay, we need 20% down in a home, or we can't get a home because of this or whichever. So they already have, stuff like set in their head already. So a lot of times when I meet with them, it's like, it's no pressure. I'm the specialist. You ask me the questions, and then we go over everything together. So just buying a home itself, it's a process.
Hmm.
And I let my clients know that it's going to be a process, and I'm going to be with you, throughout this whole process. So, whichever questions you may have, so a lot of people, they tell me, well, I don't want to ask you because it sounds stupid or I should know this. Like, no, it's like you're not in the field. You're
Yeah.
just hearing what people say. It's like, this is what I do. Just ask me.
Yeah.
So, and then I pretty good. I mean, I can say I'm good at communicating. I mean, sometimes when clients contact me, I know I shouldn't, but sometimes in the middle of the night I'll respond. That's just a habit, but
Yeah.
I do set my hours. So communication for me is key. And during the home buying process, I want them to understand it because it's a huge investment.
Yeah. It's
And then
huge.
I'll ask them random questions. Like I'll ask them like, hey, what day are we supposed to close escrow? I mean, I already tell them, but just want to see if they're listening or they're paying attention. Because
Exactly.
sometimes when you're going through this process, you get lost, and all the information is it's overwhelming. So
Hmm.
I'll kind of quiz them,
Yeah.
because I'll tell
Good.
them, you know what, by day 7, you're supposed to get disclosures. By day 21, this is supposed to happen. So I'll quiz them, and
Nice.
they'll still look at me like, oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Buying a home is not only a huge commitment
Make real
financially.
estate fun. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not, yeah, every transaction is different. There's been great ones, there's been transactions that not so fun, or not so easy, but I
Yeah.
try to make it enjoyable.
Yeah. And it shows. I mean, I've seen your communication style. You're very good at it. I love the idea of quizzing them. Home ownership is such a key part of most people's financial wealth. It's awesome that you do
Yes.
that. And it's a time commitment and a dollars commitment. So pretty
Hmm.
spectacular. Nice work. I am curious, and I always ask my real estate agent and friends that are in the business, especially 5 years. Wow, you've seen a lot. What does your crystal ball say about the upcoming year and next year? Do you see real estate getting hotter and hotter, with price appreciation, or what are you seeing out in the field?
So, yeah, I do see the price appreciation. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball in front of me, but that's just what I'm guessing.
Hmm.
Real estate, yeah, the prices it's going up. It probably will go up.
Hmm.
There's been some increases in home values already, because I
Sure.
do check home values for clients. From time to time I'll call, or they'll call me or text me, whichever.
Hmm.
The market is still good. I mean, I still have people looking to buy. People are still looking to sell. So despite what you hear in the media, market may be slowing down due to election. I don't know if you're going to ask me that, but a lot of people ask me,
Yeah.
since it's 2020, the presidential election, what do you think?
Yeah.
Well, me personally, it's still good. Real estate is still, busy.
Yeah.
I have sellers, I have buyers, I have investors looking still.
Yeah. No, I think 2020. I was lucky enough to interview Tom Ferry 3 or 4 weeks
Oh, nice.
ago. Yeah, and he said 2020 is going to be bananas as his special word,
Yeah,
right? Bananas. And I think he's right. I
I'm
think,
excited. I mean,
yeah, it's going to be
yeah,
a good year. I think we may slow down November, December, just angst from the election, but we
yeah,
are a long way from November and December right now. Uh, why don't you just talk about your last
nice.
listing? Because I think it was only on the market like 10 or 11 days, just as a sign of the market's hot and it's moving.
Yeah, so that listing, it was literally on the market for, well, I took it off the market probably about 2 days ago,
Okay.
but we had an accepted offer by the 11th day. And that one it's in an area where the price isn't too high,
Hmm.
and the affordability there is good. And a lot of the time in that area, it's mainly for first time home buyers.
Sure.
So I mean, I've gotten lots of calls. It's just crazy. Like, when I put in the market, I already knew, at this price point, at the condition of the home, it's going to sell quick.
Yeah.
And I was busy with, my cell phone was just going off. I have calls, I have emails, I have texts,
Yeah.
showing requests, trying to negotiate offers via text. I don't do that. I tell them, just send me your best.
Yeah, exactly.
So once we got the offer and that was it, decided to counter back a couple times, and now we're in escrow.
Very, very cool. Yeah, the market for real estate's hot, especially affordability levels. And again, helping first-time home buyers is very admirable. Any last pieces of advice, or how can people get a hold of you if they're interested in Fresno properties? Oh, are you still there? Ah, lost her. Oh, there she is again. I lost you for 30 seconds.
Hello?
Hi, sorry, I lost you for 30 seconds. We're good. We're still recording. Hello. Oh, where'd she go? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi.
Do you see me?
I can see you. Yeah, it looks like
We just actually got an email that Comcast will be out here today, so I think there's something going on with our connection at work.
all right, just last question is how can people get a hold of you?